Up. Okay. Oh, so I'm up first, of course, so duh. Oh, and Larry's not here, right? Because Larry's got tax stuff to do.
Larry is actually traveling.
Okay.
He's not coming.
So let me, all right, let me actually stop this share and share the other screen, which has the financial information on it. So, okay, let's see. Screen, no. I had it opened.
Well, we barely have a quorum. We have 5.
Oh, here we go. All right, actual versus budget. So this is year to date. I'm gonna switch over to what's changed since last time, which is this, since February 15th. Step income is the deposits from the, I think that equals out to 14 or 15 students, and there's room for 20, if I remember correctly, Bob.
Right now,
Ryla-
we have 19,
19, okay,
and I have, I think 2 checks that just came in here.
great, okay. My mail is being held, so I don't know if anything came in Morristown since yesterday. Okay, Ryla income. That's what we have to date. I heard at my club last night that we're gonna sponsor one more child from Interact, which I think is great. So Holly Hovis should be sending me a check shortly. District grants, everything has been cut to date that Pam told me to send out. Some of which you guys who were at the district conference know, Jeannie got to hand them out in person to several clubs, which was kind of fun. District conference, oh, I skipped over that. The district conference income, is that in here? Oh, no, that check just came in like 2 days ago. So we did get paid by Madison for the district conference signups. And that will be reflected in the next batch of financials next month. But what is in here is the expense side of that, because we had already reimbursed New Brunswick for laying out the funds from their foundation. Let's see, anything else of note? And the Pell's expenses on here. Does anybody have any questions about the recent activity?
Yeah, I have a question on the public image club support. What does that represent? That
Oh, okay, let
1900.
me think. Public image. Club support. Jeannie, do you remember? I might have to go on my Gmail, and I'm afraid to open QuickBooks because it'll crash the laptop with all these windows open.
I had that question also. I was going to look it up, but I didn't get a chance to.
Let
can't
me see if I
remember.
can real quick go in my Gmail and see. This. Invoice for hats, does that ring a bell, Jeannie?
Oh, yeah, Bob, purchased hats for next year's, president-elect. I mean, this year's president-elect.
So that
Next
was
year's
like
president.
swag you gave out at the Pels conference?
So why is it public image?
I think it's marketing because people walking around with the hat on,
Oh, give me a break.
but
Okay.
I just put it where I was told to put it. If you guys want to discuss moving it, we can do that.
Bob, it's up to you. I think we had this conversation. We thought that's where we can put it. Bob, you're muted.
I doesn't make any difference to me where we put it.
Yeah.
Well,
What are the rest? Michael?
Yeah.
what-
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that, in my own view, I don't think that's the appropriate place for it. I think it's a Pell's expense.
I agree.
Okay, so I'm making notes here, reclass. 1906-25 to Pell's expense. Okay,
I actually disagree with that. For example, I get t-shirts, right? So, I mean, it's not about where you're giving them out. It's about the purpose of the purchase we made, right? So, that is fine. I think there are several places it could go, and I don't think Pels is one of them. Public image, club support, that could be one of the places. It can go into the DGE expense line item as well. But that's not part of the learning. That it's I think we should have I think Pell's expense should really be focused on learning. So we know how much costs us to send Rotarians to Pell's training. So
Well, they better wear those damn hats. is What
so I'm
I'm,
gonna leave it where it is.
leave it where it is, or we can move that to the district governor-elect expense. What do you think, the rest of you?
Is there room in the budget in the DGE?
Oh, yeah,
Let's see.
there, I think so.
District governor-elect budget is. There is nothing in there.
Sure, dear. DG got like $3,000. And we still have 1,800 left. And
Oh,
Bob,
I apologize. I'm looking at the current activity, not the year-to-date. I apologize.
yeah,
gotta look at the year-to-date.
right,
Here,
so,
let me change the screen.
and also Bob has budget.
So should I move it to there, you guys?
I think it belongs in DGE expense.
Okay,
I mean, that's one person's opinion, but it doesn't belong in public image.
That's fine.
DGE. Okay, I will do that. Any other questions on the finances? Oh, and I'll show you the balance.
The
sheet
bottom
real
line
quick.
is we're gonna have a lot of money left over.
So as of last, I guess it was Thursday. We have 413,000 and change dollars. And the only thing sitting in accounts payable is that thing from last year for Valerie Irvin. She is scheduled to attend RILA again and help out. So hopefully I will bundle her current expenses with the payable from last year and strongly encourage her to cash her check on a timely basis. Other than that, we don't have any payables. So,
Good.
all right, so we can
Well,
move
we
on.
have,
Go ahead.
we have, the RILA expenses are gonna start coming in.
Right.
Probably next week, we'll be cutting a check for 5,000 for the deposit to the school.
Okay,
And, they're gonna start buying the supplies and that type of stuff. So, and then with RILA, if, like you pointed out, we've already gotten 40-some thousand.
Mhm.
If we get the 100 to 110 students that we're expecting, that'll be about another 15,000 or more in income, but then most of that money will just go right back out again.
Mhm.
So all of the money that's there, that 40,000 is going to be You know,
Right.
majority of that's going to go to the
Flipped around.
college. So-
Yeah. Okay. Any,
And-
do you want to update us on the short-term youth exchange for Japan?
Yeah, we just got the bill from the airline for 4790 is the deposit to them. So that check will be going out. We've gotten the deposits from the students. We have a meeting, an orientation meeting a week from Saturday. I expect we'll get most of the balance that's owed at that time. And for the outbound, you know, we actually make money on those kids, and then some of that money is used to offset the cost of the inbound students. Japan has got 20 kids coming in, so we're working through what we need to do to deal with that.
Okay. So you have one spot open. Is that going to be filled or you don't think so?
I've had 3 people express interest, so I'm confident that we'll probably fill that spot.
Great. That's great. Okay, I'm going to put the budget up on the screen now.
Up before you go there, since
Sure.
I'm looking at the balance sheet over here, if you go back to the last page, scroll up a little bit,
Sure. Hold on
Um,
one second.
the short-term
Um,
use exchange.
Let me move this out of my way.
Yeah, right at the $9,000, a little bit down. Equity, yep. Next line.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now,
okay.
where is that 9,000? It is in our, which account is it in?
It should be in the,
The youth exchange account, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, can you explain a little bit why it's listed separately?
It's the net profit over the past 2 years for the previous program.
Okay,
Just like we used to have some RILA income, we reversed that out. This will be reversed out and will reduce the current year's expenses by $9,000. It won't affect the cash. It will affect the recognizing the income and expense.
okay, so when is that 9,000 going to be recognized? Because now it's no longer 9,000, right? It's plus the 5,000 that Michael sent you, right?
Well, that 5,000 was deposited after this was
Understood, yeah, but
Yeah.
when will this 14,000?
I need to
out.
confer with Larry
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if we're supposed to reverse this in the current fiscal year or in Bob's fiscal year.
We've been carrying this since last year, right?
Yes,
It's been over a year and we never recognized this amount. This is still showing up as restricted assets. So that's just an accounting question for you and Larry.
yeah. And if Larry was here, he could answer off the tip of his tongue, but I don't want to misspeak. So I'm making an action item for myself to follow up on the restricted
Okay.
9, what is it?
Thank you.
90549.
So if we look at this year's numbers, it looks like that our bottom line is going to grow another 50, 60 by year.
Mhm.
So I just want to say that, keep that in mind. when
Okay.
we Look at next year's budget,
Okay, shall we move on now to the budget?
please. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, here we go. Let's hopefully, I will make this bigger some way, somehow, if I can get this thing out of my way. Here we go. Can everybody see that? I'm on a tiny screen, so I'm making it kind of big.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Even I can see it with my new glasses. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Bob, do you want to walk us through your thinking on this?
Sure. I mean, there's really not, excuse me, there's really not a lot of difference from last year. The one change that we made Larry had suggested that instead of showing the discounted amount as income, which is what we did last year, that we show the full amount coming from the clubs or due from the clubs. I don't know whether that's the accurate way to do it or not, because we don't really receive that money. We don't get the money and then issue a credit. We reduce the amount of money that they owe us and take the money from reserve, but that's an accounting issue. You won't configure
Yeah,
that.
we can handle that via the invoice with a contra entry on the invoice.
Okay, so pretty much what we're proposing for this year is to give more money back to the clubs to try and reduce the amount of the surplus. So in this budget, I've increased the refund from $12 to $17, bringing the net dues per person down to 35. We're maintaining the credit of $125 on Pels. I don't know, nobody knows yet what the Pels amount is going to be for next year. My expectation is that they're going to have to increase it because we struggled with the budget this year based on the cost of food at the hotel. And I don't expect that we're going to see those prices go down as we look to next year. So that decision will not be made until probably the fall when the next Pels group gets together. But I built in an extra $25 just to be on the safe side, and I would fully expect that that's going to be utilized in terms of
Okay,
the
that sounds like
Pels
a very
program.
nice conservative way to look at it.
So we reduced the expected income from RI for district grant funding. From last year, it was 90-some thousand down to 50-some thousand, and that's just a result of what we expect in DDF coming back to us. And the Global Scholar Program, we're supporting 3 scholars, and we expect that we'll get that money back from RI based on what they've told us to this point. So those are the changes in income for this year.
Okay,
In terms of expenses for next year, the one major difference is the amount of money allocated for a district conference. I've built in money there because there's a conference in the planning for 6 districts that will be held in Gettysburg in 2026. And there's a very good program being prepared for that, for a training program. And I think it might be worth our while to have some people out there. So I built some money into the budget to cover potential costs there. Most of that will be self-funded by the amount of money that the folks pay to attend. I don't know yet, and we need to do a postmortem on the event that we had last Saturday, whether that would replace a one-day in-conference, but it's something that we're looking at. I don't expect that for an out-of-conference event we'll get more than 30 or 40 people to attend, but that's something that we're going to have to do some research on and socialize it with the clubs. But that's been built in. We've put in a little extra money in here for technology because we have to improve some of the things that we're doing in terms of social media, the website, and so on. So there's a $2,500 or so built in over what we had last year. Everything else is pretty much in line. My stipend from RI is almost identical to what Jeannie's was, a few $100s higher. That's it. And then on the reserve fund, we've built in to give another $30,000 back to the clubs in terms of district grant support, which is similar to what we did this year. Last year, it wasn't reflected in the initial budget. This year it is. If we end up the year at 200,000 in reserve, that'd bring us down to 130, which would pretty much carry us through. And then Joe would have enough to do, some additional give backs next year. That would get us down to the $100,000, which is what is the stipulated amount for us to have in the reserve fund in the updated manual of procedures. So that's where we are.
Okay. Do you want to make a motion to
I just
pass the
wanna-
budget and then we can discuss further?
One of you
Mo-
have to make a motion.
I'll make the
Motion to
motion.
pass. Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just want to supplement what Bob talked about in terms of district grants. I think that's, let me tell you how we come up with that number. We looked at the annual fund donations from 2 years ago, and 47.5% will come back to us. So that means about 43,000. And for the endowment piece, that's part of the pot. I looked at this year's number, it's about 80 something, a little over 8,000 from that pot. Since the endowment piece, it's based on yearly calendar, based on how the investment outcome. And since last year, we had a pretty good year for all the investments. So instead of something like a 8,500, we assume that we're going to get 10,000. That's how we come up with the 53. Now, 53 plus the 30 at the bottom here to support district grant funding, that will give us about 83,000. 83,000 is what we have this year from DDF to support the district grants. So, if you recall last year, for this year's district grant funding, we came to this committee back in October, and this committee approved an additional 36,000. So that gives us about 108,000 for us to fund all the projects. And of course, we have no idea. Bob is still developing, with his team still developing the guidelines for next year's district grant project. So, and at this point, we have no way of knowing the amount of all the applications at this point. So I think looking at our numbers from the balance sheet, we have at least 50, if not, 80 or 90 added leftover money from this year, right? If we have that, we certainly have the flexibility to add whatever amount that Bob can request from next year's finance committee to make up the difference.
Great.
Okay,
Any other questions or discussion?
no,
All right, all in favor of the budget as proposed?
aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Passed.
So we show 5 of the voting members voted unanimously.
Great. I don't know if I could vote, but whatever,
Yes.
I don't remember.
You're one of the voting members.
Okay. So let me close this down and put the agenda back up.
So just to
what-
remind everybody now, the next step will be that we'll send this out to the club presidents, and then they have 30 days to review it, and we'll put together a virtual meeting and vote 30 days out. I'm going to hold off sending this out. I'm not going to do it this weekend, being that it's Easter weekend and so on. We'll send it out on Monday or Tuesday and get it out to everybody, and then we'll hold the vote at the towards the middle end of May, 30 days out. And that's well in advance of the June 1st deadline that we have to meet.
So when you say it's going to presidents, are you sending it to sitting presidents or presidents-elect?
It goes, well, we send them to the club officers just to make sure. It's the president-elects that vote.
Okay, we got to make that clear to the clubs.
Right.
Last year, we actually sent it out to the entire membership.
Yeah, I mean, that's
That's
the
fine
reason
too.
why we should.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
then,
the PE who casts the vote per
Right.
club. Okay.
and then I will cover this in detail with them at our live meeting on May 5th.
Does this
Okay,
get,
great.
We probably need to schedule a question and answer, depending on, the outcome of May 5th, depending on how many people are there.
May
Um,
10th, May 5th, right?
We're already scheduling a virtual meeting as well.
Oh, great. And the vote also can be actually, we don't even need to have a Zoom meeting to vote. That tends to be very messy because you really have to record and call the roll and all that. That's messy. Yeah, we can just set up how we voted last time we voted, set up a Google Sheet, and all the PEs can just get online and cast their vote. That's a much easier way to manage the vote. It's your decision, Bob.
No, we're going to do that. And then that evening we'll have a live meeting just to review everything.
Oh, cool.
does the budget get presented to the club officers as recommended by the finance committee?
As approved by the finance committee, yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to know that we looked at it and discussed it and voted on it.
Mhm. Okay, great. Shall we move on to the district conference? Do you all want to recap what happened?
Yeah, Joe has a slide on that. Do you have that up, Laura?
Didn't he just send food truck festival?
That's
okay.
different from the conference.
It was in that
Right.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, it was green.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I've been driving all day, so I only
No,
saw.
no, that
food
was
truck.
from the last packet.
Well,
Let me see if I have it.
In the email from a few days
I'm
ago.
sorry, I don't remember that.
Okay, I can pop it up.
You want me to stop sharing? So you
Yeah,
can,
so I can pop it up. Okay. You see?
yes. Well, it's loading.
There we
There
go.
you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, you can see the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What we really want to talk about is the right-hand side, right?
Right.
So I have to adjust this. Wait. Well, you can see, but I can't. Sorry about this.
Yeah, Zoom's gonna fix that someday. You can see your own screen that you're sharing.
So, so if you look at the right-hand side, the reason I want to go through this is because I know you all have a copy and the numbers that they don't exactly match the real numbers. So the actual, I just want to point out the actual is not really the actual here.
What does that mean, district revenue line? I don't understand that.
Well, that's part of, so Joe, if you take a look at the middle column with he's taking money in addition to the $3,000 that we budgeted from the district conference, that line item, he found money elsewhere from
Oh,
your month reports and consider those items like district learning assembly budgeted and the money that we budgeted for district meetings, and consider those his revenue for this event.
well, that's not how budgets work.
Wow, that's why I said this is not exactly.
Yeah, no, that's Mm.
So,
Delete, yeah.
so,
Fine.
so those are not revenue. The revenue that we really have is
Mhm.
the check that Laura received from Madison.
Plus Donna Orr's $100 because she did, she hit the button too late, so it didn't get to Madison in time for the meeting. So she gave me a
Right.
check for $100.
Yes, it's that plus the $100, right? So we have, you save all the email communications, so
Mhm.
that's the number. I'm not sure if it's the 13533. I send that number to Joe, but I'm not so sure if, that doesn't matter. It's
Yeah,
close, it's somewhere close.
it's
So that-
definitely in the ballpark. It was,
Yep.
14,000 minus the credit card processing fees. So,
Exactly. So that's the real revenue. There are no other revenue that we
Right.
can consider. So in terms of the costs here, should be whatever
It's a net
Laura,
loss.
yes, it's whatever Laura reimbursed New Brunswick Foundation. Right? Those were the
Right.
bills that we pay. So it should be for all these items from the catering place all the
Mhm.
way down to
Yes.
the purchase of all the badges. The
So badges and awards, that might be still outstanding as far as actually writing the check to reimburse whoever. I don't recall.
you
Did I
pay
already
the
pay for that?
badges to Barry Crow,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know what that amount is. I don't think it's a flat 250. So these numbers are kind of, should I just say, we're not sure. We have to
They're a
figure it out.
draft?
Yeah.
Could we say that?
Yeah.
It's a
And
work
then
in process.
Mhm.
uh, I think we already have the numbers. It's just like those numbers are not being reflected here. Awards, we gave out district awards, but the awards, first of all, it's not 250. And the awards are not coming out of the conference budget. They are coming out of the money that we set aside for the Rotary Action Plan, for membership, for public image. Money will come out of there and not part of the conference. Also, program printing, I charge the program printing to my DG expense. So it's not coming out, again, not coming out from the conference budget. So if we true up all the numbers, we probably have a net revenue of a few $100s. So in other words, we spend, I say, around $2,700 out of pocket from the district for the district conference. So that's really the bottom line.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions? I hope that explained.
And that money was
Nation makes
budgeted.
sense. That's right.
That money was budgeted for in the budget, the 3,000.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. And we did not overspend. So I'm very happy that we'd be able to pull off a one-day conference,
And it really was lovely. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I went.
$3,000 for that one-day conference. That was terrific.
Everybody in my club talked about how nice it was who went. I mean, we had a big showing from our club, so.
Right. And the only reason why we were able to make that happen is because, we all complain about the sloppy contract that we had to review. It didn't even look professional. But you know what? The upside of that is they were very easy to negotiate with us as to what was the real charge. We had 132 attendees sign up, which did not include all our guest speakers and presenters. And they agreed to charge us only for 100 people. So as
Well,
you
that was
can
very
see,
fair of them. Very
Yeah,
nice.
and they wanted more business from us in the future.
Question,
Yeah,
will this report get corrected so that we see what's, everything actually is where it belongs? Because, I understand you're making the corrections on the fly here to this piece of paper in front of us,
Yep.
but I really would like to see,
absolutely.
I can provide that next month, Michael.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, in a more reasonable format, not like this.
I mean, because then everything will have been paid for sure by then, so.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I just, I do want to see
Okay,
what the
We
real numbers were.
absolutely, yeah, Michael, we absolutely supposed to have that, right? So that's good.
all righty. I'm just scribbling. Give me one
That's
second
good.
for the conference. All right. Great. Now let's see.
Elroy, you found us.
I forgot the link was in that document. I'm looking all in the emails. For
Yeah, it's always
25
at the
minutes.
bottom of the agenda.
Yeah, I
We
finally.
want people to read the agenda. It was a test.
I wasted 25 minutes looking for it everywhere that I thought it would be.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
Jeannie and Bob, do you want to talk about the merger situation? Or is that a done deal? I mean, a old hat.
There's no update.
Yeah, I mean, right now, we're doing nothing. We don't know, I don't know where it's gonna go. The other two districts have joined together. And right now, it's really in the hands of RI, so I don't know where it's gonna go.
Okay. Did everybody get the food truck festival documents? I forwarded them. I think Jeannie did too.
Mhm.
I have them. I can share them. Let's see. This is the flyer. And there was a Word doc too. Give me 1 second.
We need to pull up not the Word doc, but the Excel.
Oh, the Excel. Okay, sorry, that is open here somewhere. Is it? Oh, no, I know. I have to open it from my downloads. Oh, did I not download it? Rotary fundraiser. Oh, maybe this is it. Because that's not anything I created. Come on, open up. Oh, nuts. Sorry, folks. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing while I try to get Excel to open up properly. All right, here we go.
I've got it here, Laura, if you want, I can just share my screen.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks.
Oh, you
'Cause,
beat us. I was looking for it too.
oh, it did just open up.
Competition here.
Hold on a second. Now I just got to get back to my Zoom screen. Share. Oh, sorry. Bob, go ahead. I'm stepping on you trying to share. Okay.
Again, just like the conference recap. Too bad that Joe is not here to explain these to everybody. But I will try to do my best. So what you're seeing on the right-hand side is Joe's budget for the food truck fundraiser. The goal is to have this event on May 10th from noon to 7, whatever time, 7, I think 7, in East Brunswick. And as a way to raise money for the Rotary Foundation. So this concept was approved many months ago by the Rotary Foundation committee. So what Joe has here listed as, what's that top word? The revenue. What does that say? Whatever that word, contributions.
Contributions.
Okay. So the contributions, it's not contribution to the event or to the district. The contribution is direct donations directly to the Rotary Foundation. So he has it here that he's able to get, is that 15? 15 clubs? So that's $1,000 per club, then it's 15,000 contributions to the foundation. And what the foundation committee decided was to match the recognition points. So for a club to donate $1,000 to the annual fund share, the district will use our recognition points and match that 1,000. So meaning a club is going to give 1,000, then they will be able to give out 2 Paul Harris Fellows in their club. So that was the intended purpose. So none of these contributions are revenue. So there is no revenue here for this budget. Oh, he does have revenue. Sorry. Can we, there's really no revenue for this. So on the expense side, all those items added up together at the bottom there is the 3,800. So the 3,800, it's out of pocket expense for this event. And the profit, the net profit that he included, whatever the big number is, it's not profit. We're not getting any of that. So the real profit is we get a very small portion of the ticket sales. I don't remember what that percentage was.
Is that where it says megabyte share of the
Yep.
gate?
Yeah,
2,500.
right. So, so Joe is expecting thousands of people to come to this.
Good luck.
And so if the event have whatever number of people, we're expecting to get a share of the profit of $1,100. So in the best case scenario, this committee, it's I guess we're reviewing. It's kind of a little late to approve this because this is happening May 10th. That means we have out of pocket. I don't want to say approval. I don't see how we can do this.
So
this
Jeannie, it
stage.
also says that there are event sponsors, so will the New Brunswick Club collect that? That's not going to RI, is it? The 2,500?
That's not, but we
So,
don't have
okay.
any yet. So this is really a best case scenario.
Okay,
The reason Jojo sent this is because this was just put together on Tuesday.
okay.
So worst case scenario, we're out of pocket 3,800. Best case scenario, we're out of pocket 2,700.
Okay.
So there's no alcohol being served at this event?
No,
They couldn't get it approved.
It was not allowed in this new location. We were talking about it early on, if you know, we were talking about Somerset. No, East Brunswick, now it's at East Brunswick, they do not allow alcohol on town property. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
No. I hope it's a nice day.
Well, yep, if it's a rainy day, then let's look at, we're looking at 3,800. And I don't know if there are other expenses. And this is not a budgeted line item.
So we'll reimburse New Brunswick for whatever they put out for,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to go, but I have my garden club all day plant sale that day, so I don't know if I will be able to even stand up at the end of that day.
I know they're a big fundraiser out west, all those clubs, Ellie, near you, right? There's a big fundraiser scheduled for the same day or whatever it was.
No, that got canceled.
It was canceled.
Oh, really? Oh, we can invite everybody to come to this thing.
We're gonna get a bus and we're all gonna come down.
Yeah, well, get
Converge on New
two,
Brunswick. Huh.
get 2 buses, Look,
Everybody from Sussex is gonna go to Middlesex to find out why they don't have any Rotarians.
I'm just, it's problematic for me on this committee to be looking at an event that we're gonna hold and we know it's gonna be an out-of-pocket expense. I just don't get it. Doesn't work for me.
I mean,
totally
is this just
understood.
to generate goodwill with the foundation? I don't know.
Well, if this was done correctly, we could have the venue and everything approved months in advance, and we can go out and get sponsorship and all that type of stuff, and really make an investment really as a fundraiser, but this is like the last minute. It turned out to be a last minute thing. And I agree, this is not the appropriate way of doing business.
One of the problems, just so you know, is Joe originally was planning to do this in New Brunswick. And it turned out that New Brunswick was going to charge us $5,000 or $6,000 for police protection. And then there was another cost that they had for use of the property. And despite all of the money that New Brunswick, Greater New Brunswick Rotary gives to the town, they wouldn't reduce any of that stuff. So then they had to run around, I guess, and try and find an alternate location.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know any of the locations. I don't know. So I don't know what to expect.
This is also, if we didn't show the left-hand side, right? The left-hand side was based on the model of Eat, Drink, and Share. This is very different. It's not like you donate $1,000 and then you get 10 tickets to Eat, Drink, and Share and all that. This is not one of those events. So perhaps the model we're using, it's not exactly comparable to the event, right? That we're holding. So, yeah.
It's currently 5:50.
Is there any new business that we need to discuss? No? Shall we adjourn? We're gonna meet next month on May 15th. That good?
Works for me.
Everybody
Okay.
good?
Well, happy Passover, Ellie, and
Thank
happy
you.
Easter, everybody
Happy
else.
Easter, everyone.
So
Looks like we might have a nice weekend.
wonderful holiday.
Oh, we will, 80 degrees.
That's a dog washing weekend. Yay!
So thank you, everybody, for being
All
here.
right, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So long.
Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.